What is going on, guys? Bearded Storyteller here, and man, I am so excited to show you what I got. Man, I tell you what, oh man, have I waited many years for this, and it has been a long wait, and it was expensive, needless to say. Before we get started, I was gonna wait till I got some better audio equipment, but unfortunately, as luck would have it, I got the audio equipment in the mail and it was broke. It looked like somebody either stepped on it or threw something heavy on it or something like that. So unfortunately, I'm just gonna have to throw this video out kind of as is. I'm not happy about it either, but it is what it is. So anyway, guys, man, I don't even know how to start this video 100%, but we'll just say from the time I was 11 years old, I had wanted this specific firearm, and I finally got it after many years of waiting and lots of money spent, and it almost cost me a divorce, so that's good. I had wanted a 1911 from the time that I was, what was it, 7 years old. Yeah, 7 years old. I wanted a 1911. My dad had a Colt Series 70, Commander size 45 1911 that I'd wanted, and fortunately he wasn't able to give me that one. He ended up falling on some hard times and had to get rid of it before I ever got the chance to inherit it. But anyway, but this other one that I'm fixing to show you, I'd gotten it recently, and of course there's a really good story to go with it. So without further ado, guys, check it out. This is nothing more than the Marlin 336W chambered in 30-30 Winchester. And man, this thing is absolutely pristine. I'm telling you, the bluing is in beautiful condition. The wood is in really beautiful condition. Nothing going on. The wood does have just a couple of very minor dings. A little ding here, a couple little dings here and there. But I mean, overall, it is in absolutely amazing condition, as you can see. There is a couple of fingerprints on it, which I got to get that taken care of. And there's a couple of very minor scratches on it. But other than that, I mean, this thing is absolutely beautiful. I mean, just take a good look at that. So, of course, it is your standard micro groove barrel. Nothing too fancy there. It does have a camouflage sling on it, as most of your traditional 30-30s would have. Up top here we do have a brand new Weaver scope. It is a 3 to 9 by 40 variable power zoom, and I ordered some actual scope rings for this thing where you can still use your backup sights if you want to, so it'll raise the scope up just a little bit and you'll be able to co-witness through your sights here. Still waiting on those to come in the mail. They should be here tomorrow or something like that, and then I'll get those thrown on here and still be able to use my scope as well as my iron sights, depending on how close or far away I'm wanting to shoot. It has the extended hammer on it, so you can still use it with your scope. You still reach over here and just pop that down just like so. Everything here is your traditional unmolested Marlin 336W. So this is an older Marlin 336W, which is good. So it is between a 1980 and 1992. That I do know for a fact. I did go and have this rifle evaluated and have it inspected and everything. It's the first rifle I've ever done that with. So anyway, my FFL gunsmith, whatever you want to call him, he is very educated in lever action rifles. He's got over 70 of them. Not this particular one, but he's got probably 25-30 of these, and then he's got a bunch of Rossies and Winchesters and Henrys and just all kinds of good stuff. I mean, just juicy stuff. So if there's anybody I would trust to work on this or to give me an opinion on it or evaluate it, it would definitely be him. But anyway, you can see, I mean, she is just beautiful. Just a gorgeous 30-30. So, now you're probably about ready for the story that goes with this rifle. Maybe, maybe not. Um, so I rented a house from a guy who I was really good friends with. I'm still real good friends with him today. I'm actually better friends with him now than I was back then. Anyway, well, he happens to be an avid gun collector and likes to shoot, and he builds all kinds of different firearms and stuff, different ARs and AK platform rifles and polymer 80s and stuff like that. You know, just typical stuff. Back whenever that kind of stuff was legal to do, anyway. Might still be. I don't know. Haven't checked into it. But anyway, he had this rifle, and this was back in 2018. So he had this, and he was showing it to me, and I just instantly fell in love with it. Before, it just had a cheap Bushnell scope up on top here, you know, nothing fancy or nothing to brag home about, but it just had a real cheap, you know, just kind of standard run-of-the-mill Bushnell. I think it was like a Bushnell Banner or something like that, you know, nothing too awful fancy. But anyway, so I tried to buy it from him back then. Back in 2018, I was going to buy it off of him, and he was gonna sell it to me, but you know, he I think we made a deal on $500 back in 2018. I offered him $500 for it, and this is back whenever the value was starting to go up quite a bit on these old lever actions, and so I offered him 500 bucks, and he said, "Yeah, man, I'll take it." So I said, "All right, give me about 2 weeks to get the money together, and we'll make a deal." So I'll be damned if a couple of days before I got paid and I had the money to do it, he texted me and he was like, "Man, I'm so sorry, but I just can't bring myself to get rid of it. I'm so sorry. I got to back out on the deal." It was kind of a blow, you know. It's kind of like, dang, man, like, I've been wanting one of those things since I was 11 years old, you know, and like, crap. All right, man, no problem, whatever. So time went on. I didn't really think about it too much after that. Well, then here recently, I was talking to him, and he has a Beretta M9A3 that he was gonna sell for $900. I was kind of like, well, I don't know that I really want to pay $900 for a Beretta M9A3. I mean, I already have a Beretta 92 FS, which is nothing close to the M9A3, but you know, it's still a 9mm nonetheless. It still looks pretty much the same, still basically the same. So I was like, man, if I was going to pay $900 for any gun that you own, I would much rather have that old Marlin 30-30 that you got. And he was like, well, what would you give me for it? And I said, I tell you what, if you're wanting $900 for the Beretta, I'll give you $900 for the 30-30. How about that? But you got to throw in the scope too. So he was like, all right, yeah, I'll do that. So I was like, well, hey, don't back out on it this time, because I actually have the money and I'm ready to come and get it, like, real soon. So he was like, okay, yeah, I won't back out, XYZ, you know. So I was like, all right, good deal. Well, if you're not going to back out, I'm going to go ahead and order some stuff for it. So he was like, okay, yeah, I'm not going to back out. I really need the money. You know, I moved into a newer house and stuff is a little bit tight right now financially, so I could really use the money. I was like, okay, sounds good. We'll do that then. So I gave him a date and a place where I would meet him at, and we could do the exchange, of course. And the scope that is on here now is not what came on it. He gave me a Sturka S5 series 4.5 by 14 by 44. Excuse me, I'm having a brain fart. But anyway, it's a long range scope, and this is not a long range rifle. Not only that, but my eyes just did not agree with that other scope that was on here. So I was like, man, you know, I don't like this scope. Yes, it's an expensive scope, but everybody's eyes are different. Everybody sees a little bit different. So I mean, you would take it and you would shoulder it, and I mean, it was just a just a big blur, and it was really meant for a long range hunting rifle more than it was meant for something like this. Which, I mean, this really is good out to about, I don't know, I think, I've heard some people say 150 yards max. I've heard some people say 200 yards max. It just depends. I don't know. I guess it depends on what kind of ammo you're going to be using with it. My FFL had a bunch of different scopes in stock that he was selling for anywhere for $75 to $150. So I decided, I was like, you know what, let me see if he'll make a trade. So I offered him that brand new Sturka S5 scope, and he agreed to it. He said, yeah, that sounds good. So I was like, okay, well, good deal, good deal. So I went up there, and I tried out a bunch of different scopes. He had like a Bushnell 3 to 9x40, what was it, a Trophy Hunter, I think it was. And then he had a BSA 3 to 9x44, which that's kind of rare. Didn't even know that was a scope that existed, but apparently it does. And then, of course, this Weaver 3 to 9x40 right here. So I tried all three scopes, and I tried them out and, you know, put them on the rifle and stuff, and shouldered it just to see which one looked more natural and had the clearest glass and the best sight picture and the crosshairs that my eyes liked and everything, and you know, magnification, that was good and all that stuff. And I ended up settling for the Weaver scope. Weavers are, you know, they're cheaper end scopes, I guess, but a lot of people, especially old timers, are, you know, they believe in the Weaver scopes. They're good scopes. So I'll try this one out, see how I like it. If it doesn't work out for me, then I'll just get something else for it. But I like the way that this one looks on the rifle itself. Of course, we do have the removable, you know, caps, I guess you call these, the dust caps. So it makes the rifle look a lot better. It's not so bulky and just huge on here like that Sturka S5 scope was. So anyway, with that being said, we'll go ahead and go over some of the ammo that I bought for this thing, which is, I'm super excited to take this thing out, and we'll go ahead and get started with the ammo now. So alright, I got quite a bit for it, needless to say, so you'll have to excuse me. Let's go ahead and move you up here just a little bit. Move you down. Okay. So the first one is, we got some of that Hornady Whitetail 30-30 150 grain. I got one box of that. I have some 150 grain jacketed soft point Federal Power Shock. Good stuff here. Just different options and whatnot. I have two boxes of this Monarch 170 grain right here. Typical 30-30, got the deer on the front just like that, and of course all these boxes are full, as you would probably suspect already. So we got that stuff, and then we've got two boxes of the same ammo, but it's 150 grain. So we got quite a bit of 150 grain right there, you can see. Right here we have some 125 grain. These are jacketed soft points as well. These are just kind of like hand loads that I got from my FFL. He loads his own ammo and whatnot. So anyway, we got some just regular 125s right here. No big deal there. So that's some hand loads. Then we've got some what do you call these? These are 172 grain 30-30. These are actual silver case, so these are 172. They look the same as all the other ones, so I don't know. But anyway, yeah, 172 grain right here. These are also some hand loads that he did a good job on them too, I gotta say. You know, and he's been loading ammo for about 35 years, I think is what he said, 36 years. It's quite a long time. And then right here, I got this big old Oompa Loompa box right here, and I have no idea what grain these things are. We got kind of a mixture of different ones. We got some brass case, we got some silver case in there. There's 50 in here. So these right here look the same as the 172 grains. Really nice condition, as you can see there. The brass case, I don't know. It's kind of hard to say, but I'd say those are probably 150 grain, more than likely. Either 150 or 125, something like that. But anyway, there's some different stuff in here as well. And that's it. So let's see, we got 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, 120, 140, 160, and then 50. So I mean, I'm not good at math, but I think I've got like 210 rounds of 30-30, something like that. 230 maybe. I have to whip out the calculator. I never graduated high school, but anywho. So I've never been good at math, so you'll have to excuse that. But yeah, so I know I at least got a couple hundred rounds. But yeah, guys, so pretty excited about that. And this thing here, he evaluated this rifle at $1,350 without the scope. So he looked it over very carefully. I asked him to evaluate it for me, and he did. He evaluated it, and he carefully went over the entire rifle. You know, he's obviously an expert in Marlin 30-30 rifles. So first thing he did, he put on these goggle things. I don't know what those do, but he said, okay, well, at the end of your sight down here, the end of your sight still has the brass insert, so that's good. The bluing, I would say, is in 95% condition. It does have the JM stamp on it, which apparently Marlin, whenever Marlin owned Marlin, they put a JM stamp on all of their rifles, and I guess shotguns as well. And then when Remington took over the company in 2000 or mid-2000, whatever, they apparently put rim on the rifles, and so you really don't want those. I mean, they're still okay, but they're not desirable like the old Marlins are with the JM stamp. So he looks it over and he said the wood is in about 90% condition, so overall the whole rifle is about 90%. The wood is in very good condition. There's no chips or cracks in it of any kind. The receiver is in very good condition as well. A couple minor scratches, XYZ. And then he took out all the internals from out of here. You know, he took like a screwdriver and just started taking stuff apart. And he looks at all the internals and he said, okay, well, the bolt is completely original, unmolested. It hasn't been polished or anything. Your little swivel right here, your I don't remember which word he called this, but like your lever to load it is not polished. It's all original, completely unmolested. He said, and not only that, your side loading gate right here is in very good condition, which indicates that it has a very low round count because it's not all scratched up and the bluing ate off of it, stuff like that. And then he shined a flashlight in the receiver while looking down the barrel of it, and he said, yeah, this thing has a very low round count. He said all of the grooves in the barrel are still in very nice condition. Everything's nice and clean. XYZ. And this rifle is in immaculate condition. I would say if I had to put a condition on this rifle, it would be excellent condition. He said, so how much did you pay for this rifle? And I said $900. And he said, okay, well, without the scope, it's worth about $1,350. And with a scope, like let's say you put this little guy right here on there, he said you can add another $150 to that. So you're looking at about a $1,500 Marlin 336W lever action 30-30, my friend. So I was like, well, that makes me feel good about my my purchase decision that I made that nearly cost me a divorce. So it was also worth mentioning that this does have an adjustable rear sight on it, which is really cool. I think that's awesome. Everything is just all original. Now you're probably wondering, well, Bearded Storyteller, that's a great story, but where did the guy you get it from? Well, my ex-landlord, who we're still really good friends today, He got this from a renter, the renter before me actually. And the guy apparently fell on some hard times and he was a few $100s short on his rent, so he put up this 30/30 for collateral. And the guy ended up moving out and he moved to Tennessee. And my landlord called him several times and emailed and everything asking him if he wanted his 30/30 back and he would sell it to him for a good discount and everything. And the guy was like, "No, you can just keep it. I'm not worried about it. You know, I got plenty of other guns, so you know, you can go ahead and just keep it." So he held on to this thing for about 15 years. Since 2008, he held on to this and he just threw it in his safe. He put a sock on it, and he never shot it. He never took it out. He never did anything with it. So that's the story that I got. And my landlord says that he thinks this rifle belonged to the previous renter's grandpa, but he couldn't be 100% sure of that. He had mentioned apparently that his grandpa had given him a 30/30, but he didn't know if it was this exact one or not. So it's kind of unclear on that. I know if it was my grandpa's rifle, I would never get rid of it, no matter how broke and low on rent that I was. But anyway, regardless, be that as it may, we're rolling on 21 minutes plus here, so just take one last good look at it. I mean, she is absolutely gorgeous. Just a very, very nice 30/30, completely rust free. I mean, not even any pitting on it or anything. I mean, she is just perfect. Get you a good look there down the barrel, yada yada. Check out the scope we got sitting on there, which I'm about to take them scope rings off, and I'm doing away with this Picatinny rail that's sitting up on top there. I'm going to do away with that rail and just go with the traditional scope rings, XYZ. So you got your, that might be upside down, I'm not sure, but you got your Marlin emblem right there. So I mean, that seals the deal. It is a 20-inch barrel. Magazine tube holds 6+1. So anyway, guys, I am so happy that I have gotten this 30/30, and I'm looking forward to the many deer hunts that I will probably take this thing on, and maybe even hog hunts and whatever, and all the rounds that I will get the pleasure of shooting out of this rifle. So anyway, guys, that should be it for now. If y'all have any questions, comments, or concerns, be sure you put that down in the comment section down below. If you want to, be sure to like and subscribe. If you have anything you would like to add, you can also put that down in the comment section below. And y'all take care and have a great day, and don't do anything I wouldn't do.